Hello, my name is Sepehr Vaez Afshar. I'm an architect and landscape architecture master student at Istanbul Technical University. I will present our research pattern analysis of virtual landscape within educational games on behalf of my co-authors, Sarvin, Eshaghi, and Dr. Kim. In developing digital games as one of the world's biggest and fast-growing industries, the virtual landscape, or with its novel status, a metaverse accounts for a large portion of the process and carries a prominent role. Its design is equivalent to the whole game's development in terms of required efforts, and its characteristics directly modify the entire game's attributes. The evolution of the virtual landscapes within digital games has continued since their emergence, with the appearance of the first three-dimensional digital game content in '80s by the Battlezone game. Their enhancement continued till the present day. Since the 1930s, with the arising of the virtual reality concept, human beings have started to feel immersed in an artificial environment and interact with virtual objects. Due to the characteristics of virtual reality technology, its encounter with digital games went beyond entertainment. Digital games expanded their capabilities toward education, paving the way for progress in various fields of study. These contents, which are named educational games or edutainment, convey educational content along with entertainment. However, educational games are still underestimated and have the least number of players among other digital games. Players expect an educational game to be fun, to play and gain popularity. Hence, thanks to the head-mounted displays, while virtual reality increases the player's immersion in entertaining commercial digital games, its capabilities in simulating real environments creates the opportunity for riskless and low-cost learning in educational games. With our previous research experiences of text-based serious games, which were my thesis steps, I understood an inadequacy in players' interaction level with the provided educational content and low reluctance to follow the encountering texts. This lack led us to wonder about the role of virtual landscape in educational games and their effect on the data comprehension rate. However, no study nor research has been done regarding the gradual change of the virtual landscape in educational games and the content they transmit chronologically. Hence, this research aims to figure out how gradually the virtual landscape in educational games has evolved and how this change and the invention of virtual reality technology affected the intended topic of the education transmitted by digital games. To reach the mentioned aim, it is essential to understand how it is possible to classify the virtual landscape in digital games. According to literature in 2016, Kim proposed a classification methodology for digital games, classifying their virtual environments. This methodology, which follows the principles of landscape architecture, and urban planning, is based on 5 principles named player scales, story, dimension, space shape, and interaction level, and 16 variables. Combining the related principle codes in each game, we generate a 6-digit code identifying the game's virtual landscape. In this research, for the sake of our aim, we filtered all existing digital games in Steam database with the education and game tag from 1992 till 2020, and consequently 702 contents appeared. We entered them to an Excel database, adding their publication year and whether they support HMD or not, and sorted them based on their dates. To code the games based on Kim's methodology and also the topic that the games are educating, be played or watched their gameplays on Twitch or YouTube Gaming or read about them. To figure out the results, we made some pie charts and separated data sheets to reach the final statistics. Generating a heat map in the database, we discovered the most and least numbers and transferred them into line and bar charts for better comprehension. You can see some charts that show the growth of the different principles in educational games. Also, you can reach the raw database through this QR code on our website. As a result of this research, we spotted a gradual change pattern in the classification code of the digital games, depicting how time and developing visualization and modeling technologies change the virtual landscapes within the educational games. A close relationship between the change of the virtual landscape and the existence of the virtual reality technology in educational games and the educational content they are transmitting is revealed with the gathered information, depicting that virtual reality technology makes educational games possible to convey more practical content than information needed to be memorized. Generally, the virtual landscape in educational games has been more complicated to generate, interactive, and rich. This research is limited in terms of the broadness of the dating spectrum and comprehensiveness of gaming platforms. Our future studies aim to provide a roadmap for educational game developers to increase the educational content retention success rate by raising the player interaction with the surrounding virtual landscape within the game. It is possible to apply the final pattern to any virtual landscape to increase the interaction rate of the user with the intended environment. As he mentioned, while landscape architecture is currently trying to merge the virtual reality technology into its domain, it is still simply adopting VR as a tool. Soon, the virtual landscape will become an additional design domain for landscape architects. Therefore, sooner or later, landscape architects will have a great role in the virtual landscape within the digital game industry. These are our article's references. At the end, I sincerely appreciate your attention today. If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much.